I was in here taking a shit, as I do, here on Thursday, August the 15th. Ordered me some Arby's, got a little rough, so I'm just sitting on the toilet, sitting on the toilet, and I look over, I find myself a special guest when I went to wipe my ass. Ta-da! Look at that guy. Yeah. Minxie is super... Oh, she doesn't know it's there. But, do you? Do you, Minxies? No. Well, you're gonna know it's there. But I mean, it's a Granddaddy Longlegs, so I'm not that worried about it. Actually, I saw it on the ceiling the other day. I should probably relocate it to outside before it like ends up in my bed. No, I mean, it's not like I ever sleep in my bed or anything, right? Who gives a shit? I did. I just did. Yes. Twice. I may have to interrupt this video to do it again. Who knows? The shadow knows. Oh, but yes, yes, I'm talking to you. Something to Scrubs. Yeah. Not the sitcom, just the No Scrubs song. I don't want no scrubs. Well, that's fine, bitch. Just leave some more for me. Hey, I'm available. Hit me up, Scrubs. Hey, from the passenger side of your best friend's ride. Go ahead and holler at me. That's the sex. That's the sex. Off the rails already. Alright. Jiminy Christmas. But yes. We were done with cold mods last night at regular work. So, we played with some other mods last night. And well, we started off in grocery, but that was mostly just a label change. And then we went to pharmacy because the other mods were in an aisle where like everybody was in the aisle. Because the frozen dairy deli truck was late or something, so like everybody jumped in 18 through the end to help get it done, and there was a clusterfuck, and we were like, you know what, we're gonna go do some other mods that we didn't realize were gonna be as big of a deal as they were. Jennifer and myself. I know she was doing the mouthwash, and like the whole third section changed or something, and then of course there was, I don't remember if it was going from regular size to bonus size or from bonus size to regular size, so the spacings were just slightly different enough that it's like you had to shift everything down so that it would fit correctly, and it's like, and then of course the mod I was working on, it was like spacing issue, like almost every single shelf, and it's like, especially the ones up top, it's like rude, so rude. But we got her done. We got 4 done. The manager looked at me. I happened to pass by him this morning, and he was like, "Hey, how many mods did you all get done?" And I was like, "Some." I'm never ready for a pop quiz. People should know this by now. And I was like, I had to think. I was like, well, we did the pasta sauce, and then Jennifer went and did mouthwash while I was doing I think it's called adult nutrition. I don't know. It was like some of the equate and that kind of stuff. And then I went over and did the whey, the powder, protein powder thing. That was the one that was like almost every single thing had some kind of spacing issue. So it's like you'd get all the way done. You'd think you were all the way done with a row, and then it was like you had to like fucking start over and scoot everything down, or like try to turn something sideways, or because nothing was 2 facings. That would be super fucking simple. Just cut out a facing. Yes, people still live upstairs. Sorry. That's the way it is. But at other work, I did some light mowing, and I don't know what time I started, because I was running a little bit late this morning, but I saw the trash truck at Shepherd, so I turned into Shepherd, and just about that time Peter called me and asked where I was, and I'm like, oh, I'm just turning into Shepherd. But they had to go get another vehicle because they were in the trash truck. Him and Riley were both there. So they had to go get another vehicle to come pick me up, and Gabe just wanted me to do some mowing today. I don't know if he knew I was doing push mowing, but I mean it wasn't that bad. Push mowing in front of the well, there's that small strip in front of the shop, and then there's some of the stuff to the side and at the front, the entrance to the pool, the Nassif Pool Aquatic Center. So I did the mowing over there, and then I came back with the weed eater and the blower so I could blow off all the grass that, was making. They were already open this morning. I think maybe they were doing classes for kids, but other people were like coming in and out. I don't know, so it's kind of like I wasn't expecting them to be open yet, so I was like, oh, I'm not going to be in anybody's way, I'm not going to have to worry about it, but then like people were coming in and out, and I was like, oh, never mind. But yeah, I came back with the weed eater, and because I did in front of the pool first, because Peter said something about maybe going and doing ball fields or something, picking up more of the weeds from the ball fields. So when they got done with trash, I guess they didn't have much trash left. But I was doing that, I was doing my own thing, and I got back. So it's like, I mean, I wanted to get the pool 100% done, perfect, complete, in case they got back from the trash run, and we had to go do the ball field thing. At some point, Riley he wasn't doing ball fields; he was doing soccer field. He was reassigned basically because I got back from weed eating and blowing the pool and all that stuff. And Peter got back, and he was gassing up the trash truck, and he asked if I wanted to come along, do a trash run with him, because Riley had been reassigned, basically. I was like, yeah, sure, because I just got done. I even got done with the weed eating, the small little bit of weed eating that needed to be done at the section in front of the shop. So yeah, we went and did the trash run. And in the trash run, I kept seeing Little Caesars boxes, so it kind of made me want Little Caesars. So I got on the DoorDash app, because I told DoorDash yesterday. I didn't have an option to select that I didn't get my collector cup. So I just had to say that I didn't get the meal, even though there's a little box to explain the situation, whatever. I don't know if DoorDash reads that or if they send it to whatever restaurant fucked up your order. But I said I received my food, I just didn't get the collector cup. Because usually you'll select what you didn't get, and then there's options. Like you can say, I didn't get my drink, I didn't get my sandwich, I didn't get my fries, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But there was no option to say, I didn't get my collector cup. So I just said I didn't get the meal, whatever, Of course, I wouldn't have ordered it if I'd known I wasn't going to get a fucking cup. But then DoorDash gave me back like $18 in credits, like $17.95 is what they gave me. So I had that credit in there. And as I was looking through, I was kind of like, I don't know, pizza sounds okay, maybe something else. So I was looking at Arby's, and Arby's has this bourbon barbecue brisket sandwich, which sounded pretty good. Sliced smoked beef brisket with brown sugar bacon, melted cheddar cheese, crispy onions, and a bourbon barbecue sauce, and a toasted brioche bun. And let me tell you, it was pretty good. Whoops, what'd you do? Oh, it's a spam risk. No. We're not talking ever. But yeah, because I kept seeing the Little Caesars boxes, that's kind of like, maybe I do want some food. Maybe I don't. So, so between the credits that I knew that I had, and Arby's had some kind of deal going. I don't know what it was. Now I probably can't find it very quickly. But at least maybe I can find it quicker than I found my idea for the frickin' tattoo from the other day. I don't know what it is. Deals and savings. There are no deals. Oh, applied at checkout. Limit 1 per order. And I guess I already ordered, so it must have cleared out the deal. I don't know. There was something. Arby's had some kind of deal where sometimes they'll do that. Like if you spend $20 or something, a certain restaurant will say like, "Oh, spend $20, save $5, whatever, blah blah blah." So I got that meal and a strawberry shake, and by the time I got that done, I got the Arby's deal, and then I had my credits. I was looking at a grand total of $2.66 for my Arby's order, but then I threw like $6 on for the Dasher tip, whatever. So it ended up costing me $8.22. So that was a pretty good fucking deal. It's like, well, I'm not spending too much money on this here, And like I said, $6 is the tip going to the driver. So that was the biggest, the biggest hoopla there. So, but I ended up. Peter asked if I could stay late because we got out to. They did have the trash run mostly done, and then we got out to West Park. Oh boy. Well, first there was shit all over the bathroom floor at Blind Boone, so they had to clean that up. That was before Riley got reassigned. He came back to the shop at some point, and I was like, you're supposed to, and he was by himself. I was like, you're supposed to dump the trash, not Peter. But so there was shit all over the floor, and people had left. They would let the yellow mellow. There was a couple of turds in some of the toilets, so there was like some of them had rings around the rosy that Peter was cleaning off, and so that took a little extra time, and he asked if I would mind staying late because I knew we hadn't been to Cave Hollow yet, and that can sometimes be quite a mess. So I had already ordered my DoorDash. I scheduled it for later, but I went in there and I rescheduled it, and I thought maybe I'll do like 1:40. Maybe I should be home by 1:40, right? And then I was like, well, I don't know how much trash we're gonna run into, and other assorted things. Not the turds. So it's like, I'll just go ahead and make it for 2:00. That'll give me an hour. At that point, it had given me an hour, so I stayed about an hour late today. So I was like, yeah, I'll just go ahead and make, because I don't know how much trash we're gonna run into, yada yada yada. I apparently knew. Because while we were at West Park, I kept thinking I heard something. Like, I heard the door, like somebody went into the bathroom or something. Like, I was pretty sure I heard the door. And then it was like, I was hearing like this groan or something weird. And I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? Turns out it was possibly a woman on drugs. I don't know. We don't know for sure. But she was wailing. I think it was supposed to be crying. I think she was crying. I don't know. But we came up from doing the ball fields. We were picking up trash around the ball fields. That's what I kept thinking. I was like, what is that fucking noise? And it's a lady crying, wailing, something like La Llorona. You know, like, I don't know. But we saw her and a guy on a bike way down at the other end of the parking lot. And they eventually came up and they were behind the truck, and she was still like making that groaning, wailing noise. And then she went in, because there was a porta potty there, and apparently she went into the porta potty at some point, and the guy was standing there on the bike. I thought they were like together, like maybe they're having like an argument or something. Like I didn't quite know what was going on. And at one point, like we had to go to the truck to dump our trash can, and the guy was like, "Hey," and we were like, "Hey," you know, like, but it's like we just kind of went and did our work, you know, and whatever. And the lady stopped making noise while we were near the truck. I guess she heard us out there. I don't know. But then she went back to making noise after we walked away. I don't know. And then like I was there. We had this little like hand blower thing to to blow out the bathrooms, because sometimes, you know, leaves collect in there, whatever, blah blah blah. And I'd blown out both of the bathrooms, so I was like, oh, I'll just blow out this pavilion here, because there's a little pavilion there. There's a little, it used to be a snack bar. I guess it still is. There's like some kid that like does vending or something. So he started using that snack bar again. It's been years since it's been used, I think, or whatever. But so there's like some picnic tables there under a pavilion or whatever. So I started to blow the leaves out from underneath the pavilion, and that lady came up there and sat down. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to blow the leaves now. It's like, I didn't want to blow them in her face or whatever, you know. She's already having enough issues. I don't know. So I just went and waited on Peter to get done. He was, cleaning the rings around the rosies. And then, we went back to the truck or whatever. And the guy who was on the bike called us over. And I guess they were not together. He just happened to be riding his bike by, and he saw the lady, and he was checking on her to make sure she was okay, whatever. And I guess she told him that, like, she wasn't sure where her husband was, but he had abused her or something. It was some, like, crazy story. And the guy had called the cops, and he gave the cops her name was apparently Tiffany, and I think it's kind of one of those, like, the cops knew who she was. I think maybe they had already dealt with her, maybe, because he said he'd been waiting for 10-15 minutes or whatever, and they hadn't showed up, and they didn't show up while we were there talking to the guy, and we were talking to the guy for maybe 10-15 minutes ourselves, before, after that, whatever. I guess he had just moved here, whatever. But after, the lady came up behind us, and he was like, "You doing okay, Tiffany?" And she just kind of, started doing, sign language. I think it was supposed to be sign language. And she just kind of, walked off. And it's kind of okay. She just walked off, doing sign language. So it's I don't know. I don't know if she was homeless, if she was on something, because that's what Peter and I were trying to figure out. She wasn't sure where her husband was, but so I don't know if she was worried her husband was going to find her. Because it's if he was the one that I think it was, she said he abused her or something. Or, I don't know. We were getting us all secondhand from the guy. But it's I guess you wouldn't want to know where you're, unless, like I said, maybe she was worried her husband was going to find her. I don't know. It was just a weird, one of those weird situations. I don't know if it was real or if it was like drugs were involved. Like I said, I don't know. The cops never showed up. So, and the guy said he'd been waiting like 15 minutes, and we were there talking to him for like another 10, 15 minutes maybe. Speaking, is that says 5 minutes of taping time left. I should probably plug myself in, but so. Yeah, it's a good thing because we hadn't even been to Cave Hollow yet. Luckily, it wasn't too tore up, because sometimes it can be very tore up. Um, but it was a good thing I pushed my DoorDash order back to 2 o'clock, because I got here like basically 5 minutes before it did, so it was pretty good timing on my part. I'm drinking our water because she will drink out of this. Mom got me this cup when I was having my issues a couple Sundays ago. So that cup had been sitting there, and Minx knows it, so that's become her drink cup now. Even though sometimes she'll still demand water from the sink in the bathroom, and every once in a while she will lower herself to taking a drink from the bowl in the kitchen. That's actually her bowl with her water in it. Every once in a while, when she has to slum it. But now it says 3 minutes, so watch her sleep for a second. Oh, while I plug you in, because who knows? I've already talked for way too long, so maybe we'll have another very quick question today. And the only way to find out. Ooh. I almost sat down and wrong. I got a Charlie horse. Got a Charlie horse on camera. That could have been interesting. All right. Maybe for you more so than me. I don't know. The 15th. So, what turned out better than you expected? What turned out better than you expected? Well, I mean, I guess I don't really go into many things with expectations to begin with. What turned out better than you expected? Take another drink from our water. My throat's a little dry, maybe. Oh, too many curly fries. I didn't even eat all my curly fries. The sandwich and the shake was enough. I mean, I guess I don't have expectations very often. What turned out better than you expected? I mean, I think sometimes I get done at work or whatever, I'm like, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, I mean, I guess you could, I say that a lot. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I don't know. I don't really expect much, I guess. I don't know. I just kind of go and do things and live my life. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe I have an answer for this one. I keep thinking, I keep trying to think, like, did I think something was going to be bad and then it turned out, like a movie or something, like, oh, this movie's not going to be that great, and then it turned out to be really good, better than I expected, I don't know. Like I said, I guess I don't really go into things expecting good or bad. It's just kind of like the experience will be what the experience is, I guess. I don't know. I'm just happy to be invited, or I'm just happy to be nominated. That's probably what I meant to say. It's an honor just to be nominated, you know. Yeah, I don't. It's like the skit back in the day on Mad TV, lowered expectations. You know, I don't think I have. I don't think I have really many expectations. So, I mean, I guess you could say a long time ago. This manager is actually a store manager now at a much smaller store nearby. I kept thinking, I just always assumed that I suck at my job, and I was taking too long, and I kept thinking he was going to come over and he was going to be like, why aren't you done yet? Why is this taking so long? Blah, 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 blah. That's kind of what I got used to, from management. Like, why is this taking so long? Yada, 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 yada. And that never happened, for one thing. And then at the next night's meeting, he actually thanked me for doing such a good job. Because he was like, he's like, how did he put it? He's like, you're an old time associate or something like that. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I could tell, So it's like, I expected to get yelled at and like, why is this taking so long? Why is this taking so long? And instead, he really appreciated the job that I did and thought I did a really good job. So, I mean, I guess there's kind of an example of that. And I was like, oh, wow, like I'm wrong about that a lot. I just always go in expecting I suck at my job. So, I mean, that's kind of the way I've been trained to think. It's like you're never good enough for the standard. That they're forced to force upon us. Sometimes I think but not that they necessarily want to, or they may not necessarily believe in it, but I guess they're management, and if they're told to, that's their job to do what they're told to do, I guess. But so maybe that's a good example, but that was a long time ago. Like I said, this manager is now I think he was like an assistant store manager or something. I don't know. They're all managers to me. But now he runs his own store. It's a much smaller store nearby here, so it's a lot less stressful there, I'm sure. But anyway, that's a good example, I guess, because otherwise I don't really know. But anyway, that's a super long video today, I think. So, I guess make up for the 6-minute video that I made the other day. Now it's like 36, 46. Who knows? We all know who knows. It's the shadow. The shadow knows. But anyway, that's that. Now I gotta get this uploaded. I'm probably going to pass out before it's done. But I'll get it to post. Yum. Yeah. I will get it posted to Facebook ASAP as soon as possible. So other than that, it's Friday. I just got one more day at both jobs, and then it's my weekend, and I can just, just pass out for 48 hours straight, which is probably what's going to happen. I don't know what time it is. What time is it? 4:30? Might be in bed by 5 today. or asleep on the couch by 5 today. That's more like it. Not if I don't get this done. So I'm gonna shut up and I'll see you for what I see you.